assignments or anything ahead of time for Kris? I'm not sure if I missed it.
Oh yeah, we did have a few players get released today. Pedersen, Gleason, and Hamlin.
And messaging to players that make it to this stage, obviously it's a battle for, when it's time for call-ups and those sorts of things. Like, that's kind of the battle for those guys, is to be first on the list.
It's very disappointing. It's difficult giving them that news, but you tell them things that they did really well in camp, and obviously they did to get this far along. And during the season, there's going to be times where one, there's injuries, or two, we just don't like how our team's playing, and we need a little something. And we talk to the players about what they provide and what is important that they go down there and they play to that identity. And hopefully that they work on that and can contribute to the organization.
Knoblauch wasn't out there. Was he hurt again?
He is hurt, yes, but he is still with us. It wasn't one of the release. He did not skate because of his injury.
You didn't mention Kemp. Is Kemp still there?
No, Kemp was released last night.
Hamlin, did he just in camp? The other Philp just played better.
I think the things that last year I saw Hamlin, and I really liked his game. He was a big part of our 16-game winning streak. I'm not exactly sure how many games he played in, but he was here for the majority of it. And I thought he, being tenacious, being fast, making some nice plays, good defensively. I think he just got off to a slow start to camp. His last game was his best, and I don't think it's the last we're going to see of him. And but obviously, I think it was just a difficult decision for us.
The leasing's just a numbers game. You're keeping Dermott.
Yeah, yes, it is. It was. Yeah,
he played well.
Yeah, Dermott has played well. His experience in the NHL, and we'll still see him for one more game, and then we'll make a decision after that.
Will LeBlanc have a chance to play in the last 2 games? Is he healthy enough to?
Yeah, we believe he will be. So whether that's the first one or the second one, but we feel he's really close to returning.
Lots of line rushes, two pairings together here in these practices. You feel like seeing these guys play in their lines is critical at this point. Do you think?
I don't think it's critical. I think maybe a little bit. The only one that maybe it's critical is Leon's line, just because they're not familiar with each other. As for everybody else, I think from game to game we're making tweaks, and we want to get a little bit better defensively on one line because of a matchup, or want to get faster, whatever it is. They're versatile. They can go in and out. I think just with those three guys, I think it's important they kind of get familiar with each other before we start moving them around too much.
Is there any update on when we can expect Darnell Nurse to get back into the lineup?
Most likely be playing tomorrow.
Was Colin Delia, is he on waivers as well?
Yes, he was. Yes, he is.
And Cajula is still here, so he must have.
Drake has played really well. I think, he's so close to having a fantastic training camp. He's had so many scoring chances and just not been able to go in. I think he's good defensively, good with the puck. We're looking for speed. I think he adds a little bit of that. I think he's just a good all-around player. And again, we will have, at least one, if not two more cuts before Sunday. And, this is an opportunity for, I think, all those guys to play one more game.
Kris, what's allowed Noah Philp to slow you?
I think he's been good defensively, having a role. One is to be in that bottom six. I think it's important to be part of the penalty kill. A lot of the guys have been, and he's one of them. Another one that's been important for us is how well he's been on the faceoffs. We are missing a right-handed faceoff depth. We've got Derek Ryan. Other than that, our top three centermen are all left-handed shots. So just having more opportunities to put guys in there to take those defensive zone draws, and not just be on all DR's shoulders. I think that helps his cause.
But, he didn't play anywhere last year. He took the year off. How surprising is it that he's been able to do it?
It's amazing. We knew that he was gaining traction and playing really well up until he took that time off. And for him to come to camp and not play hockey for about 17 months and then to be this far along the process, is quite surprising. But, obviously he did a lot of work and he's very dedicated and wanting to play here. It's good for him. So again, we'll wait and see and just see if he's quite ready for this. But so far he's had a good start.
What kind of camp do you think Josh Brown has had?
Josh has been getting familiar with the team, the systems, the players. His D partners have been changing, maybe not so much in practice, but from game to game has been back and forth. But with our D, we want there's an element of playing good defensive hockey. That's expected from everybody. And then there's all the elements of playing fast, a little more physicality, and certainly he can give us the making a good first pass, but the physical part of it. And the other part of it, and we haven't seen much of it, is again the penalty kill. We'll talk about that. We lost a lot of key components up front on forward, but also on the right-hand side defense, and just who can do that well. And he hasn't had much. We haven't had many kills. It's preseason, but that's a big part of his repertoire also. Oh, well, we've got Emerson that we feel confident in that can kill, and then we had last year Kulak in the regular season didn't kill very much. In the playoffs, he stepped up and did a lot more of it. Now, when he's in the top 4 penalty kill, somebody has to move over to the right side, and that's fine. And if we're going to be going with our top 4, we also talked about Bouchard doing some of that penalty killing possibility. So we'll just wait and see.
Kris, your starting goalie has never started a season as the for sure number 1. This is the first time for Stu. He's now going to be the number 1 for a team trying to win a cup, and there's a 4 nations face-off. His name's in the mix. Is that a lot for a young goaltender?
Yeah, it could be. I don't think it would be for Stu. You look at how well he's handled adversity throughout the year after a bad game. He's always responded. I think he's pretty mellow. He doesn't get too high, too low, and and whatever he has a shutout performance. He doesn't change. And if he has a bad game, which there hasn't been very many of them, it's the same guy next day at practice. So I think his mindset and the way he conducts himself, I'm not really too worried about that. Other goalies who are, maybe a little more immature and can't handle that pressure, then I think you do have to worry. But I think with Stu, I think he's pretty level-headed. He's got a good work ethic, and I think he'll handle it really well. And I'm not saying there's not going to be ups and downs with this season. There'll be times where he's going to be unhappy and thinking he can play better. But overall, I think he'll handle it well.
Would you like to see Draisaitl's line in the next couple of games together? And do you expect Connor to play in both of the 2?
Yeah, he'll play at least 1, possibly 2. And for that line, I would definitely like to see them play together for 1 more game. As for another game, I think we can start maybe mixing and matching a little bit, just changing, because quite likely early on in the regular season there will be changes. And, if we can get prepared for that a little bit would be good. But I think they need a little more time, but I don't necessarily think they'd be playing every single minute together. On this morning, should be getting shots for the players tomorrow morning. And I think out of the question are not able to play Wednesday, Friday. There is a possibility. Yeah.
And Nurse will be in some games here?
Nurse will be in at least 1 game, if not 2.